If a company like Bikaji Foods comes out with an IPO, what should you do? Should you invest or shouldn't you invest? So wait till the end of this video and I'm going to analyze everything about this company and to see what are the positive points and also most importantly, what are the risk factors. This is Paresh Desai, Chartered Accountant, Sankalp Venture, and I'm into the training of stock market for technical and fundamental analysis. So although for the IPO, the technical analysis does not apply, we are going to analyze on fundamental basis how this stock is for you, whether you should invest or whether you should not invest. Welcome back. So what we are going to do today is I'm going to take you through the website of Bikaji and we'll see what this company actually does. Now everyone knows about this company. It's quite a popular product company when it comes to the Bhujia products. So let us see what are the products, what it actually does, how many products are there, what is the market and all. And for this, I'm going to go into the company's website and see what all they've got to offer. Okay, so the company has got their Bhujia products. Okay, so if you click on Bhujia, let us see what are the type of Bhujias they've got. Wow. And who is the brand ambassador? Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. That also talks something about this company, right? So these are the Bhujia products which are there. And there are more than 300 products which this company is dealing with. Okay, so this is just a beginning. The main product, or you can say the flagship product, is the Bhujia products. Then there are the combo packs. Okay, so in the combo packs, you find that it could be a combination for gifting. So these are the combo packs which they are having. Okay, then they are into namkeens. Okay, जो मुंह में पानी आ रहा है, right? Crusty nuts, burukku, masala bundi, and all this stuff. Okay, Shahi mixture, chanachur, salted peanuts, falari. So all these are the savories part. Okay, so basically they're classifying into the namkeens and also they are into snacks. So if you see the snacks, they are also into the snacks where they are having Kaju Katri, then Namak Para, then Trikoni Matti. Okay, so these are the products which are there for the snacks. And they are also majorly into papads. So after the Bhujia products, the next main product actually is papads. Okay, so they are the second highest manufacturer of papads in India, right? So if you see here, these are the different types of papads which are being manufactured by Bikaji, right? So there are others also, like there are sweets, then there are Oven Fresh, and also internationally. Let's see what are the internationally also they can supply these other stocks which are the goods which they are supplying for the international market also. Okay, so good. Now that we have seen the website, we know that what are they dealing into. Okay, so and when it comes to food products, baki kuch chale ya na chale. Okay, I believe in three things: roti, kapda, or makan. And out of that, the roti part, which is the food part, that is something which is always going to work, especially for a company like Bikaji, or which is having a very popular product. So let us analyze and see whether this company, which is Bikaji Foods Limited, whether it is worth subscribing or not. Okay. Now, what are the highlights of this company? I'm going through the highlights one by one. So it is the India's fastest moving consumer goods. Okay, FMCG brands, one of the fastest FMCG brands in India. It is selling more than 300 products, as I said, under the Bikaji brand. Largest manufacturer of Bikaneri Bhujia, which is an annual production of 29,380 tons. Wow. Second largest manufacturer of handmade papad with an annual production capacity of 9,000 tons in the fiscal 2022. In the 6 months ended 30th June 2022, company exported to more than 21 international countries, including North America, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific. So these are the highlights about what the company has done in terms of its achievements. Okay. Now let us see what are the financials saying, means how good or bad the company is in terms of actual performance. Because as a chartered accountant, I would like to analyze the numbers. Okay. So let us see what are the numbers telling us. Products and all, everything is good, but unless it is backed by good, healthy numbers, any company is not worth investing in. Okay. So let's jump into what the financials say. Okay. So this issue basically is for 2 crores 93,73,984 equity shares of 1 rupee each. Okay, so that is your face value, and it will be for 881.22 crores. The issue price is between 285 to 300. And one lot, if you want to invest, you have to invest in minimum multiples of 50 shares. Okay, so you want to invest in 50, 100, 150, and so forth. But the maximum permissible lot for a retail person is only 13 lots. As an HNI, you'll find that you can apply for more than 13 lots if you're applying in the HNI category. The IPO is open from 3rd November 2022 and will close on November 7, 2022. Now, the basis of allotment, if you see the date, it will be on 11th number. And if the shares are subscribed or it is allotted to you, basically, then in your Demat account, they will come on 15th November and the listing date is going to be on 16th November. So these are the IPO details. Now let us come to the financial highlights. Okay, so what is the financial highlights before we come into the actual details? This is a summary of what I made. What I seen that the company is having consistent growth in the sales. So that is one of the things which I always see, whether the sales are increasing, because the sales or the revenues don't increase consistently year on year, then there is something wrong in the company. And anything which does not grow, ultimately it dies. That is a basic principle of any organization, any company. Okay, so the first thing I always see is how are the sales or how are the revenue. Second thing I see is whether the profits are consistently growing or not. Okay, so what I saw, except for the COVID period, the profits have consistently grown. Achha, there is a conservative debt equity ratio. So if you see the debt, it is quite conservative debt equity ratio. That means the company is not gone all out for the debt. So the debt equity ratio in terms of taking risk, the company is quite conservative. So that is again a financial positive side. Now the net worth of the company is consistently growing. Okay, so the net worth, which is basically your net assets, okay, which of the company is, if you find that the net worth is consistently growing. Another thing which is worth noting is that the earnings per share or the EPS means what is the profits divided by the number of shares, that is called as the EPS, earnings per share, that is consistently growing. So that is also a positive side. And the operating cash flow. Now cash flow is something different from the profit. Okay, cash flow is how you manage the funds, how the cash is managed, right? So what I've seen that the cash flow is almost 100% of the net profit. That is also one of the positive signs. Okay, now let us come to the actuals. So these are the actuals which you've seen for the March 19, 2021. Now what you see for June is a quarterly result. That's the reason you'll find that it is having a 337 crores, and all these are into rupees crores, right? So if you see here, the revenue is growing consistently, 910, then 1082, 1322, and for 31st March 22, it was 1621. If you see the profit also after tax, it is growing consistently. Net worth is growing consistently. Okay, although the borrowing is also growing, but that's okay, because unless the company goes for expansion, okay, sometimes you might find that the growth is not there. So borrowing is also good. Okay, that's the reason we saw that the debt equity was there, but then the debt equity is not so alarmed. It is quite okay. Okay, so these are the financial highlights. The application details, as I said, minimum one lot you can apply, and it will be for 50 shares. If you're having for maximum, you can apply for 13 lots, which will be of 650 shares, right? And then as an HNIs, you can apply in lots of minimum 14 plus, or as in second category, more than 67 lots. Now, one good thing which I've seen about this company is that the promoter holding means how much the promoters are having shares in their own company. Okay, sometimes you might find that the promoters, their own stake in the company is quite less, 20, 30%, 40%. So here was very happy to see that the promoter holding before the issue would be 77.97, and post issue the promoter share is going to drop to 75.96. Okay, but still 75.96 or roughly 76% would be a good percentage of promoter holding. Okay, so these are all the positive signs. Okay, wait, we are going to see some risk factors also. Okay, not that I'm always going to talk only good stuff about the company, but at the end, I'm going to also tell you certain risk factors which are there, which you should always consider. Okay, now the objective of this IPO is that only for OFS. Okay, OFS means basically the existing shareholders are selling their share. It's an offer for sale. Okay, so the existing shareholders, some of the shareholders want to offload their stake in the company, and that money, entire IPO proceeds, is going to go to those shareholders. Nothing good or bad about it, but the only thing that the money is not going to go to the company, it's going to go to the earlier existing shareholders. Okay, that is what the objective of the IPO which is given. So every company, when it comes out with an objective and it comes out with an IPO, they have to give the objective why the IPO is being taken out, right? Now we see what are the risk factors. Okay, so we find that as there is a good side for everything, most of the things there can also be a bad side. So I'm going to now discuss the risk factors for this company, although not so great. Now in this particular company, I would say that the positives are much more lopsided than the negatives. Okay, so but let us see anyway what are the negative parts of this company. So the negative things what I've seen was that amongst the risk factors, I've seen that the company's margins have declined in the last 2 years and 3 months. Okay, so if you see the margins are slightly reduced, but that's okay because this is business. The margins have reduced, but the revenues have been increasing. So somewhere there is some compensation. Okay, so but the margins have reduced. That is the risk factor, one basic fact. Now, the another thing which obviously is also a negative because money is not going to go to the company, it is going to the shareholders who are selling their stake. Now, one thing which you can consider is that there is a significant dependency on the sale of Bhujia products. Okay, so Bhujia products and the papads, these are the two main things which our company is depending upon. Okay. So the companies, if there is any inability to anticipate or adapt to the evolving consumer taste, sometimes there could be a problem, but that would be in the future. So, but this is just one of the risk factor which is there, which you should definitely consider for and understand. Okay. Now the company has proposed an capacity expansion plans related to its manufacturing facilities. So they are having some expansion plans, and sometimes the implementation or the cost overruns are there, then that might hamper some financial numbers. And the company has made some investments in debt instruments which are not secured. That was one risk factor. And finally, all of you, whoever is listening to this, or if you're planning to invest in this IPO, or in fact, for that matter, in any IPO, you should be going through something called as a RHP. Okay, what is RHP? RHP is nothing but a red herring prospectus. Okay, so in this prospectus, everything about the company, what the company is doing, who are the directors, what is the company planning to do with the money, and all the details is given in the RHP. So do go through the RHP document and then analyze for yourself whether you should be investing in this company or not. Okay, so in my opinion, it's a good company, but again, that is my opinion, because when you are investing your money, not my money. So always be careful when you're investing in an IPO, and you can take a calculated risk, and you can decide based on what we have seen as the positives and the negatives whether you should be going for this IPO for Bikaji Foods Limited. I hope you have liked this video and you got a lot of understanding and insights on what the company does, what are the financial highlights, what are the risk factors also. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe this, and also share it with your friends who are interested in subscribing to this IPO. Okay, once again, this is Paresh Desai from Sankalp Venture, and I'll see you soon in the next session. See you. Bye.